Welcome back to GVTV.
My name is Mariah.
And my name is Jake.
Before we start, here's some events going on this week.
Some of the important ones include a lot of sports. We have a unified first responders game.
Another interesting one that I want to attend is the Fox Hollow Foxtrotters versus 5th grade. I've never heard of it and it seems cool. Here are your announcements. This one is going to be a long one. We have so much to talk about.
Summer school registration opened today. If you want to catch up, get ahead, or just need something to do this summer, you can register right now.
If you want to learn more, go to the district's website.
Buy your Pledge Respect t-shirt today for just $3 with the paw and $5 without.
And come to Howdy Homemade Ice Cream on Tuesday.
It is Pledge Respect Day on Wednesday, so drop by the Unified Basketball game at 6 p.m.
And finally, come to Mod Pizza all day on Thursday.
Also on Thursday, we have swing dance night from 6 to 9 in the cafeteria.
Guess what's also going on Friday, March 31st?
Oh, I know. Grandview's Unified Therapy concert called A Little Bit of Country, A Little Bit of Rock and Roll.
If you have second period off, show up. It starts at 10 in the Grandview Auditorium.
On Saturday, Grandview has its grand evening auction. All proceeds go to the performing arts programs at Grandview.
Oh, that does sound so grand. I'm very excited to see what's for sale.
Juniors and seniors, Grandview Prom, the Met Gala Masquerade, is on Saturday, April 15th. We want to go over some important things regarding it.
First off, guest forms are now in the activities office. You need one if you want to bring a freshman, sophomore, or any outside guest into the event. Please just don't bring your mom.
After the prom, come to Boondocks and Parker from 11:30 p.m. until 2 a.m. to play some mini golf, drive some go-karts, or play laser tag.
All right, let's recap a little bit. A few weeks ago, we discussed SATs and how much they help with college.
We also told everybody they're a great way to get some recognition if you haven't been to any college fairs.
Well, I think Grandview listened to us because on Tuesday the 4th, Grandview is hosting a community college fair.
Community colleges from all over the state will be here to help you plan for after high school. Stop by during your lunch or off hour between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m.
We have one more announcement to make. A few months ago, one of Grandview's art teachers, Mr. Sarmiento, suffered from a stroke.
He and his family have certainly struggled through these hard times. We just want to announce that his birthday is on Friday.
And it would mean the world to him if we all sent him a happy birthday.
With that being said, let's move to features.
A few weeks ago, some students went to Ireland for a school trip. Be on the lookout for a recap video in the coming days.
But today we spoke with Ms. Shawes about why she is here at Grandview for another episode of Meet Grandview's Admin.
Today we're going to be meeting one of our discipline deans, one of them in the upper hallways, Miss Shawes.
I started off in Aurora Public Schools. I was a teacher, and then I became an instructional coach, and then I was interested in becoming a dean. So I became a dean at a middle school level, then I became a dean at a high school level. So I started at Aurora West College Prep, and then I went to Aurora Central High School, and now I'm here. I think that with the relationships that I've built, I think a lot of my kids feel safe coming up to me. So if there's a concern, like school-wide or with staff or with students or anything that I could voice to the rest of my administrative team, I would. And I also think that I would try to, if it was something, in regards to classes or their grades, like I could reach out, because I already do that, like to their counselors and their teachers, and try to see how I could be of support to them. Attendance and discipline, right? But I think also being a support system, not just handing over consequences. I know that's the part of the job, but I think really showing that, hey, here's what you did and here's the result that happened. But I think showing them, hey, here are next steps and how do we achieve them. Involving student voice and current and relevant topics that helps students engage. I also think allowing kids to connect to their teacher, starting the year off like that, having a foundation with here's who I am as a teacher, and then here's who I am as a student, and then the teacher and student connecting, because I think that's a big buy-in for students and teacher, because then they're comfortable and they're in a safe environment. And I think making instruction relevant to students is very important. If a student is frustrated with an administrator, it's nice to be able to pull the student aside and pulling the administrator's side, because I think sometimes adults and students both need time to calm down if something's riled up. And then I think, again, having both sides being heard, so that's not just the students, not just the administrator, but then I think having a restorative conversation as well, so that both perspectives are clear, not that they both will agree, but that they both are able to hear one another, I think goes a long way. So yeah, I think that's been helpful for me when I have to talk to an adult and a student. I haven't necessarily had an interaction with an administrator and a student, but like teachers and students I have. And so the restorative conversation component has been good. Thanks.
Thanks for keeping the series going. It's very fun learning about our administrators. Stay tuned for some security guard stories.
We want to shift gears to an interesting story. Freshmen are not supposed to be leaving campus, but it seems like they can without consequence.
Let's see the reasoning behind why this rule exists.
There's nowhere to go. Because of the fact that there's nowhere to go, we said, all right, well, let's make it sophomores with their license through juniors and seniors, because there is somewhere for them to go. They can go home or they can go, the hard part about Grandview is there's no retail really attached to Grandview. If there were more retail around us, I think that would be a different story, but really there's just nowhere to go.
Despite not having somewhere to go, freshmen can and will find ways off campus.
A few years ago, we let everybody off campus because we were too full. We couldn't fit everybody, to be honest, and it's hard to monitor, right? Like, we can't stand at every door and check IDs. We just don't have the manpower to do it. If we know, then we enforce it. Anytime we institute a rule, I hate instituting rules because there's always an extenuating circumstance, and about 95% of our students are doing the right thing. We need to address the 5% who might not be versus make a rule that's going to affect 100% of the people.
Thanks for speaking with us, Dr. Roberts. I think that's some interesting insight.
Let's move from freshmen to seniors by asking them for their easiest, hardest, and favorite classes, along with some class recommendations.
We asked 4 seniors about the classes they took during their high school career. Let's look at what they have to say about them. Here are their easiest classes in high school.
The easiest class I ever had in high school was weights class, freshman year. It was just fun. I was lifting with the fellas. It was before they had like sport classes, weight classes, and I was just in like athletic weights with everybody. I was with seniors. It was all senior class and me and Malumba. That was fun.
My easiest class was, AP Psych is up there because, to be honest, I just sleep through the whole thing and I'm still fine.
My easiest class is psychology, mostly because it's just memorization, and once you get that down, it's smooth sailing.
I think the easiest class I've taken in all of high school was probably foods and nutrition my freshman year, because we never had any homework or anything. So.
Here are their hardest classes.
The hardest class ever in any high school, in anywhere, in college, and anywhere, the hardest class is chemistry. Without a doubt. Just know it's chemistry. It's the hardest class overall. There's no specific reason. It's just hard anything. Just know that.
Okay, AP Lit is definitely up there. It's like, I don't ever understand what we're talking about. It's crazy.
My hardest class is definitely AP Lit, because that class, I'm not a humanities person in any sense of the word, and it's hard for me to wrap my head around all of the analyses of the books.
The hardest class I've taken is probably anatomy. I'm taking it right now. It's just a lot of work outside of class, and the content is just a lot more difficult than anything I've ever done in high school.
Here are their most favorite classes.
Oh, my favorite class was Algebra 2 with Ms. Shalai. Those are the best classes ever. If you can get Ms. Shalai, keep her.
I liked my Socratic seminar class a lot, I took it senior year too, but it was like a really interesting experience and like different ways of thinking and all that. And there's some good people in there, but yeah.
My favorite class is Physics 2 because it talks about the universe more in depth and how different properties of different things like work, which I find really interesting.
It's kind of like confusing, but I think my most favorite is probably anatomy, even though it's my hardest class, because we get to do cadavers throughout the year. So at the end of the year, we're gonna cut a cat open, which I don't know, it doesn't sound like fun to most people, but I think it's pretty cool. And just kind of the activities that we do throughout the year is pretty exciting. So I think that's why that's my favorite class probably.
And finally, here are the classes they would recommend.
Law of Business with Mr. Baird. It teaches you about business and how America got to the laws they have now.
Well, I'd recommend Socratic seminar, I guess. Or I liked AP Spanish Lit too. It was like pretty tough, but some interesting stuff in there too, if you like that sort of thing.
Definitely psychology, because it helps you understand people and how they work. And when you understand people, it helps you communicate better.
I guess it depends on the kid, but if you want to go into like a medicine after high school, I would definitely recommend anatomy. And AP Lang, just for anyone, was a really great class that I took my junior year, so yeah.
Sending it back to you, Jake.
We appreciate the opinions. We want to keep them coming. Maybe we'll do our juniors next.
To close out features, let's learn a little bit more about Pledge Respect Week. Pledge Respect Week at Grandview starts today, March 27th, a week organized by the Unified Club that's dedicated to help with funding, support IOC students, and show respect.
Pledge Respect Week is a week where the school gets together and pledges respect for every individual in the school, no matter who they are, what they believe in, what classes they take. It's for everyone to feel a part of our school. It started through Special Olympics Colorado, and at first was say no to the R word, because that's just, no one should ever be called by that word, the R word, but it's kind of gone to being pledge respect for everyone. It means a week where people work together to bring about better things for our school and to bring about just unity and a oneness. Like we say, we are one pack. That's what we want to be. We want everyone to feel good, everyone to feel accepted, and we hope that we're doing that. Grandview is a great place to be. We're one of the 2 high schools in the state of Colorado that earned the National Banner Award, which is a really prestigious award for Special Olympics, and we're really proud of it, and we're thankful to Dr. Roberts and the administration and the teachers and all the students, and I'm especially grateful for the students in the Unified Club because they work really hard to bring this about at Grandview.
Thanks for helping us learn a little bit about this week. I would just say be kind to everybody this week, and better yet, every week.
I totally agree with you.
All right, glad you're all stuck with us through this long edition of announcements. There was so much to go over the past 2 weeks.
Thanks for watching, everyone. We are one pack.
Go Wolves!